This is the band-resisted pull-through. This exercise allows us to challenge the posterior chain with eccentric and concentric loading. Our diaphragmatic breathing progressions should be completed before introducing this more dynamic movement, as this will ensure that the patient has adequate core control and can maintain a neutral spine while transitioning between hip flexion and extension. This movement is training a hip hinge pattern, so a good rule of thumb would be to ensure that the patient is maintaining vertical tibias, which will emphasize posterior chain activity and take away from a more quad-dominant movement pattern. We also want to ensure that the patient is avoiding valgus collapse of the knee joint and instead stacking the knees over the ankles while moving into hip flexion. Lastly, we want to make sure that the patient is achieving extension of the hip instead of excessive lumbar hyperextension at the top. Let's take a look. You can see from the front that the patient's doing a good job of avoiding valgus collapse at the knee joint and maintaining a nice vertical tibia with the knees stacked directly over the ankles. From a lateral view, we can spot a few different things with this movement. Specifically, it gives us a better idea of a nice neutral spinal position throughout the entire movement. You can see here at the bottom as well as here at the top of the movement. It also allows us to identify hip extension and differentiate that between excessive lumbar hyperextension during the movement.